name's Neska. Here with Trucker Mama reacting to...
LA just surrendered, which is an update from the previous video.
Uh-oh. And that was 8 hours ago.
As the ICE protests were essentially encouraged by the mayor, more of these foreign forces started to show up in the streets, destroying parts of their own...
Why? What did that pillar ever do to you?
It's white, so we gotta destroy it.
I don't get this. I don't get this. It has rocks.
Oh, they're getting so they can throw it at people.
As nothing stops federal law enforcement faster than lightly vandalizing your own streets. But finally, LAPD marched in to try to control things.
Tear gas.
Get him. Now. Kick their ass.
Kick its ass.
When the protesters tried to breach the ICE facility, with people in black bloc attacking the building.
Ooh.
Even getting inside, tagging profanity on the vehicles they believed to belong to the feds.
They believe. This reminds me of that one time that disgruntled employee got fired and he tore up your dad's...
Oh, I gotta tell that story.
Yeah,
so my
do
dad
that.
works... Me and my dad work at the same place. They fired a person earlier that day, and he came back to poke holes in the tires of the HR lady who fired him. And his only descriptions, well, she drives a dark red Ford, and my dad drives a dark red Ford. And he came back. I had
slashed his tires.
Slashed his tires. I get a text from my friends like, "Hey, did your dad run over something? Because he has 4 flat tires on his car." I had to send that picture of that car to my dad while he was out on the road. He was pissed.
It's a nice Mustang too, huh?
No, it wasn't. It was the old
wasn't the Mustang?
No, it was the old Focus. That's another thing. They give new company cars. It was an old Focus he had.
Huh.
He was pissed for months after that.
Oh, yeah.
Don't even bring it up to this day. He'll still get mad.
As street journalist Anthony Cabasa shows us, they're genuinely attacking them,
Cozy
crawling
Riot
up and
stream. Oh! Cozy Riot stream. I remember seeing that on, someone say that on Kirsha's,
Yeah, that's what
feed.
I think she named it. Did the stream get taken down? Because I can't find it anymore. I was going to watch it.
trying to sneak inside.
You don't take the side!
Put the
Not
sign
the
there,
side!
But at least they finally made some heavy-handed arrests.
Oh, let me.
Did you see that nerd? How he was like, "Oh, I got this sign shield," and a guy runs up behind him and just bashes him.
Yeah, if you didn't know what was going on, it actually looks worse. He's about to get fucked up the ass.
No. Kid literally thought he knew what he was doing. No,
These people know what the fuck they're doing. They're pussies.
he literally thought he was in a video game.
Using a barrage of pepper bowls to back off the mob. But unfortunately, Cabasa also got hit in the eye.
Ow! You got hit in the eye?
Oh, the guy's just recording it.
Oh.
Oh, that had to hurt like a motherfucker.
You were too
So major
close for
props
comfort.
to Anthony Cabasa for going out
Hello, welcome.
there and documenting the riots, as even after he got hit, he still went out there again, so make sure you follow him on X,
And slurs.
as mainstream news outlets like Fox got chased off. Where the rioters even destroyed their news vehicle.
Right at the beginning.
Oh! Yes, mostly peaceful protest. They fucked up your news van. Good job.
The situation that it got to. This is a brand new news truck that we just got. Looks like the tires were slashed. They busted into the windows.
I think it's a $60,000 car too.
They stole all the stuff that was inside.
They stole all the stuff! sorry. At this point, they're vandalizing and just labeling it as riots for ICE.
You know
and
that
stuff.
shit's on eBay.
Oh yeah. They're just looking for an excuse to steal shit and sell it later. They don't actually care about the riots.
And even into the evening, journalist Aldo Buttazzoni also got chased off by the mob.
This is literally just the best excuse to be a thief and destroy things.
Yes, a normal, peaceful protest.
Touch him. Touch him. Get out of
It's
here.
unfortunate it happened in front of the police, but sadly, they also had their hands full.
Step away from the vehicle! Step away!
What the hell are these people wearing?
Where the protesters were using a strobe light to blind the coppers to no arrests. So obviously, they escalated to tagging their MRAPs.
Oh, okay.
What's an MRAP?
That's this vehicle.
They've spray painted it. Lovely.
Throwing rocks at their vehicles with zero worry about repercussions.
Sheesh.
And even a defenseless Waymo, those automated taxis got destroyed.
Oh, that's just a poor little taxi car.
Self-driving car, too.
Oh no, the AI
And
car,
again,
poor baby.
nothing stops the feds from enforcing the law than vandalizing a taxi that serves your community. But the local police seemed pretty defenseless, as the mayor had openly spoke out against law enforcement.
Go ahead, dude. Raise up, come at me again. Move, let's move. You better chill the f*** out, Al. Chill the f*** out. Chill the f*** out. Chill the f*** out.
They need a curfew, right?
They probably did.
And it didn't do shit, huh?
Well, when your mayor doesn't back your police, what do you think happens?
Point.
And these guys are crazy, out there doxing that police officer, as there's no other reason to post this information next to that video other than to try to intimidate them.
This is why California doesn't care about crime.
Away from actually enforcing the law. So no wonder well into the next day, the Los Angeles streets still weren't under control, filled with protesters flying flags from all the countries they demand they are not sent to, or even the Fed vehicles are under...
It's true. The thing is, he's not lying.
Okay, that's hilarious. They're literally supporting another country. Okay, what's the country? Help me out, my brain's...
Mexico.
Mexico?
Yeah.
It's Mexico?
Oh, we got a 50.
Down.
Pasty George super chatted $36.44. I don't trust masked protesters. The reason I don't trust masked protesters is because of 2010 Toronto G20 protest, where it was discovered that undercover police agents were disguised as masked protesters and provoking other protesters to violence.
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Huh.
Yeah, the mask thing is... yeah... There's a lot of stuff when it comes to stuff like that. Also, I just don't believe in masks because I know that you can't breathe. And I'm supposed to moan. Moan. Oh, thank you, Joestar, so much. You just paid for my Sephiroth, my Sephiroth, playmat, thank you. I couldn't think of the word.
actually shattering the windshield and injuring the agent. As this guy in a yellow dirt bike helmet was throwing rocks at not only the marked patrol cars, but any random car driving by. So now the FBI...
At that point, you're not protesting nothing. You're just being a complete douche, and you need to be arrested and put in jail.
As deputy director is looking for that specific guy, as these so-called protesters are under the assumption that in LA, local DAs don't really follow through with prosecution, but federal agencies under the Trump administration are going to react very differently. as these idiots started trashing their own communities again, making
Why?
these makeshift barricades out of shopping carts. And as Kabasa shows us, somebody mysteriously placed this fresh pallet of cinder blocks nearby that were, of course, utilized in their garbage barricade made by fatherless behavior, which was easily discarded by the local sheriffs. But in multiple parts of the city, the rioters started fires.
And here comes the arsonists.
Yeah, you gotta get the pyromaniacs.
Even burning vehicles while flying flags for Mexico.
Oh, was that the car I saw?
Mexican flag can, you know.
As honestly,
If you love Mexico so much, go back!
How's
Go
it-
there!
how's it-
Why are you protesting us sending you there if you're like, you love the country so much, then shouldn't you be happy? We're giving you a free trip back to Mexico!
Here's a better question. Wouldn't this not look like an invasion at that point?
Yes, it does!
I see this as a foreign invasion at this point. Military
Oh my god! Literally, you had the same brainwave there!
age males flying another country's flag, fighting with our federal agents. So it's good to see the feds finally fight back.
Rewatch. Hell.
Rewatch.
I don't think I got this part nuts. Maybe I wasn't paying attention.
And then some idiot goes crying online how her kid was affected in the riot.
Why the fuck are you bringing your kid out to this? Why would?
Who brings children to something like this? Of course it's dangerous!
Because they don't give a shit.
So what? They were saying that her kid got hit by a stray rock or something, or
Maybe.
Out of all the people I
What
want
did you say?
arrested, I think
Okay.
I gotta hear that again.
Tear gas. Oh.
Ooh.
And then some idiot goes crying online how her kid was affected in the riots. Out of all the people I want arrested,
not being hit, but having tear gas.
Why would you?
Why is the kid there in the first place?
Do people not think?
They
I
had no
think the
babysitter.
so-called mother deserves it the most, as you should know better than to bring your kid to this very volatile situation, unless, at best, you were using them as a prop for your protest. And
Yes,
at worst, you
you're
were
right.
using them as a shield from repercussions. Or at the very worst, you knew this would happen and are just looking for a taxpayer-funded lawsuit. As this
Yep.
wasn't a protest, this was a riot, and Border Patrol wasn't playing games.
Good.
True and real. Yeah.
Where even in the morning they made it clear, anybody who impedes our efforts is going to be arrested and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. And they were serious, arresting over a dozen agitators before the sun went down, with
Nice. But seriously, if you do something like this, of course you need to be arrested. That's just common sense.
Let's see, rioters, protesters forget that when the National Guard is deployed, the gun would be marked E for everyone.
Viva Frey pointing out, this is actually a rebellion or even insurrection. You would think the rioters would know the difference between yelling at local coppers that answer to your liberal mayor and the federal agents that got the green light from President Trump. But if these activists can't tell the difference between ICE and the DEA, I somehow doubt they know the justice system. So now California's Governor Newsom says this is the
he's still around.
Yep.
I thought he got impeached.
sowing
No.
Man.
chaos and escalating, and that is not the way a civilized country behaves. And he's correct. California
Car
looks
on
nothing like
fire.
civilization right now. So good thing they're deploying the National Guard.
So guess what? We're already ahead of the game. We're already mobilizing. We're going to bring National Guard in tonight. We're going to continue doing our job.
With President Trump stating,
Oh.
if Governor Newsom and Mayor Bass can't do their job, and we know they can't, then he'll step in and solve the issue the way it should be solved. And then
Nice.
promptly went out to go watch the UFC fight.
Guys! Trump.
With the governor crying about the 2,000 incoming soldiers, saying it will
don't
only
think that's-
escalate tensions. It's sad to see my taxes going to a guy that's essentially the mouthpiece for the rioters destroying the city that I escaped. Then again, my tax dollars will go to repairing. So let me know what state I should move to in the comments. As in California, they arrested the president of the largest labor union at the riots. And in case
Okay, that's a good question. What is the best state to go live in right now, you think?
Depends. If you want, I mean, anywhere in the Midwest, you can get for pretty cheap. and we're not as crazy. I mean, if you want to live in Texas and deal with the heat, or Florida and deal with the heat.
But most of the people who were in California have been coming to Texas. And look at who's running Texas right now. Or who was that? Was that a governor or mayor or something?
No, that was like a congresswoman.
A congresswoman. California was civilized state. Yeah, it was actually, right?
Yeah.
In case you missed yesterday's video,
That was
there's
a
a
long time
disgusting
ago.
connection between the Democrats and cheap labor.
California used to be a red state until the late 80s.
Why are you shipping these immigrants up north? We need them to pick the crops down here.
What immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
She's from your home state.
We done
No,
pick
shut
a
up.
side.
You know what? She was probably an immigrant from California. I don't
No,
think...
didn't you tell me when Katrina happened, there was a lot of people that came over from New Orleans?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Texas is always the go-to state everyone has to evacuate to. Poor Texas.
And you left.
Yeah.
If we don't have avenues for people to come here legally to work or to build a home here,
How are we going to find new slaves to wipe our butts?
because we don't have enough people.
That's
They're
exactly
so
what
used
she
to
just
being openly
said.
bigoted within the party, they forget how horrendous this sounds. So now that we understand why liberal leadership wants them around, why exactly do regular citizens support this so much?
Because they're dumb.
There's unrest. Let's start with.
Like I said,
I think this was the scene. Oh my god, we have to play this.
hold on. Let me make a point here. These people don't actually care about the morality, I guess they are assuming that they're fighting for. They're only doing this for attention as well as to get a quick buck. That's what it is.
I think this might be the same.
There's protest, lawful protest, which is allowed in this
No, it's
country.
not.
There is some
Lawful.
unrest.
Lawful
It's lawful protest, but there's only some unrest. We just don't see any vandalism here. We don't see any cars on fire.
This is just mostly peaceful protest to Electric Boogaloo.
Tests,
That's
but
what that
some
was.
unrest is kinda catchier than fiery but mostly peaceful, but they've had 4 years to protect the lie, using anything to get you to believe the police are randomly snatching up families at work and not who they're actually arresting, like guys wanted for grape, known gang members, guys that attack their wives, and traffickers. So these idiots in the street think they're being freedom fighters when they're actually just protecting the worst.
I mean, seriously, I bet you if someone's here illegally, but they're just living a normal, peaceful life, I doubt that they're gonna sit there and target them. Yes, they are still technically committing a crime if they're here illegally, but if they mind their P's and Q's, I don't think they're specifically targeting them right now anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a time where they will probably go after them because, again, they're breaking the law by being here illegally, but I don't think whatever punishment they would get would be as bad as these people who are actually committing crimes, drugs, sex stuff, all that stuff, murder. These people that we need out of our country.
Criminals and their community, all in the name.
Sorry, 1 second.
Sorry.
Sorry about that.
Shining justice.
Aim of providing cheap labor and even cheaper votes for the Democrats while literally bankrupting the social services they likely rely on. It doesn't make sense, but that's what happens when you have more emotions than information.
Yep.
Don't doom scroll on social media all.
Alright.
So true. Well, thank you for joining us for this video. Hopefully things might work themselves out. If not, oh well, we're all going to be doomed eventually. Love you all. Bye.